Hey guys, it's Billy, and what the fuck is up? We are on No Bleeps. This is my podcast I have wanted to start since last November, you guys. Literally almost a year ago, I got approached to do this podcast, and I was like, what in the freak am I going to talk about? And finally, you guys, tonight it hit me. I was like, I need to just talk about stories that I can't talk about on my YouTube channel, stuff that is deep and, things that if I even dared to just bleep out, all of the context would get lost. You guys would be like, huh? What are you talking about? So I decided that I was going to be covering the story that you guys have been asking me to cover, which is what is going on with Benji and JeyJey. I have to give a immediate trigger warning to anybody. This is going to include grooming and suicide. We are about to get really deep on no bleeps here, and I don't want anyone to, be triggered by anything we are discussing. So, on this podcast, I'll always tell you in the beginning if we're going to be talking about something that is dark. But most of the time, it's really going to be about stuff that I can't bring to my channel. And a lot of people have been asking me, when are you going to talk about this? When are you going to talk about this? And it didn't feel right to talk about it on my channel because I wouldn't have been able to give you guys the full context. I feel like you guys would have gotten lost in the story. But I feel as though this is the proper place to talk about this and to really dive in and give you all of the details. This is it seems like an important story to talk about because I feel as though more and more this year we are hearing about influencers taking advantage of fans or influencers grooming fans. And, we just talked about Tony Lopez a few days ago where there were accusations against him. Now there's accusations against Benji and JeyJey. Benji has come out and said something, so I definitely want to give you guys the scope of the situation. JeyJey is apparently missing, but, we're going to dive in because if you guys have no idea who these people are, I will explain it all to you. We are talking about Benji and JeyJey. They are on TikTok. They are a couple, boyfriend and boyfriend, and Benji is 19 years old and JeyJey is 18 years old. So legally they are adults. And this past weekend, the two of them were accused of grooming a minor. And it was in a long Twitter thread posted by an anonymous person who created this anonymous Twitter account, and they decided they were going to make a long thread of all of the things that occurred to them while they were in talks with Benji and JeyJey. Now, in this, I'm also going to be referring JeyJey as George because that is how Benji refers to him in a lot of his statement. So I just want you to be aware of that just in case you guys kind of get a little confused by that. But in terms of followers, Benji has 1 million subscribers, 15.6 million followers overall on TikTok and everything. And a lot of his audience are minors, so this is a very big deal for someone that is getting accused of grooming a minor, that they have a majority minor audience and a large platform at that. So this is extremely concerning. So last week and into the weekend, and we're still discussing it today, obviously, there has been a thread of tweets that have come out from someone who has claimed that Benji and JeyJey had interacted with them knowing they were underage. This anonymous person who's claiming to be 15 years old put on this Twitter thread. It began in February, and that is where I'm going to start this off. This is what they said. In February 2020, JeyJey sent me a screenshot from him and Benji's FaceTime. It was a live photo of Benji jerking off while he was at the gym. He also sent me a close-up live photo of the tip of Benji's penis. I was caught off guard and asked why JeyJey had sent those photos to me. A 15-year-old, I asked if Benji was aware of him sending these photos to me. JeyJey defended himself by saying he sent it to me because he was hot. Later, I told Benji about what happened, and all he said was OMG before changing the conversation. Benji and JeyJey were one of the first gay couples I'd seen receive so much support. I looked up to them and took inspiration from their TikTok videos. They were highly praised, and I loved how they were just themselves. They helped me come into my sexuality and feel more comfortable with myself. When they started to show an interest in me, I was starstruck by the fact that I was becoming friends with my idols. However, their social media fame blinded me, and I didn't realize how they took advantage of me until talking about my experience with close friends in July and August 2020. Following these conversations, I went through my text messages with Benji and JeyJey and felt disgusted with myself until I realized that none of this was my fault. I understand that they may be some of your favorite people, and this could be hard to believe, but please be open-minded and listen to what I have to say before attempting to disprove my claims. Then they inserted some proof in this Twitter thread. They said, here is a screenshot of my FaceTime call log. I had already deleted and blocked their number, which is why there's no contact name. 34 is the area code in Spain. And they included a photograph of the screenshot. Now, following this FaceTime live photo, we have an event that took place in March, and this is the next set of threads that this anonymous source has talked about in regards to George and Benji. On March 23rd, 2020, JeyJey sent a photo of me to Benji. It was from a high angle, and I was sticking my tongue out to be humorous. The caption JeyJey put under the photo is completely inappropriate to say about a minor, same with Benji's response. And in the text message, it says he wants to suck your PP. He continues with more screenshots saying, on June 5th, 2020, Benji added me on Snapchat and sent me nudes. He sent me videos of him jerking off his dick, coming, and said he would fuck my quote tight asshole. Here's screenshots of him asking if he has me on Snapchat, and they included the text messages. They said, I had no idea how to respond to that and was left speechless. The following screenshots show me talking about what just happened with a friend. So they included text messages to their friends, basically just trying to prove like a timeline, I guess, of all of this going on. Then they continue saying, it was normal for me as a teenager to feel an attraction to adults. However, it is the adult's responsibility to set boundaries and stop a child from acting on their attraction. This did not happen with Benji and JeyJey. They took advantage of my friendship and exploited and coerced me, a minor, into doing what they wanted for sexual pleasure. They used their power as an influencer to manipulate me into doing what they wanted because our feelings were mutual. I knew what I was doing, and because I wanted it. Looking back at all of this, it was very easy to be manipulated by someone older than you. There is a very big difference maturity-wise between people who are 15 and people who are 18 and 19 years old. A lot of people's true colors have been showing, and it's hard to know who to trust anymore. However, always believe the victims first. I would never make up allegations just for the sake of canceling someone. That would be very hurtful to other victims. False allegations play a role in discrediting real allegations and instill more fear into those who want to come out with their story. Many groomers like Benji and JeyJey are never called out and get away with their crimes. I just want everyone to be aware of the actions that they're supporting by following Benji and JeyJey. Many of these types of people will never have their platform taken away, and I know that many may continue to support them regardless of the information I've shared. But please help me share this so we can attempt to deplatform them, as the majority of their fan base is most likely minors, and this could happen to another one of their fans. So you guys, this is clearly a lot. So it's, to sum it up, a 15-year-old is saying that Benji and JeyJey was talking to them, sending them photographs, and, talking to them very sexually. And, a lot of people were questioning the allegations, as people on Twitter do, and Benji came out with this statement. Benji immediately shut this down, and he tweeted out, I'm hearing that some very serious claims are being made against me, and from what I know, I can say that it is not true. Accusations like these are not to be taken lightly. Please know that any rumors you are hearing are not true. Sorry that it's taken a while for me to address it. I'm still processing it and all figuring it out. George is also asleep. So that was Benji's first statement, and that was because a lot of people were flooding his Twitter asking him to address the situation and asking if these things that were being said in this Twitter thread by this anonymous source were actually true. Now, later on, Benji made another statement that is extremely disturbing, and it's a lot longer, so bear with me, you guys, but this is what he said on his Twitter. I know a lot of you have been waiting to hear something and are very confused, and that a lot of you don't understand why it's taken so long. The reason it's taken so long is because I tried to kill myself. I was in the hospital and I've been recovering and trying to piece everything together. I'm not trying to gain sympathy points from telling you this. I'm just giving the real explanation you all deserve for being late to responding. The reason for me trying was due to a lot of things building up, and not directly because of this. It's not the first time. From what you've heard about what we've done, I know for a fact part of it is true. The FaceTime. Before it happened, I told George it was wrong and was very uncomfortable with it. I also asked the other person if they were okay with it, which I know was a mistake as it wasn't their place to decide. I know was extremely wrong, and in no way am I trying to excuse anything because it should have never occurred either way. And I apologize to the affected person after it happened and have felt horribly about it ever since. I just felt so pressured by George into doing it. However, I still take full responsibility for my own actions. I don't even know the full story because George knows everything, but I have no way of finding the rest out. I woke up in the hospital alone, not knowing where he was. I currently only know he left me, and I assume he went back to his own home, which is hours away. He has only briefly spoken to me and has no intentions of seeing me anytime soon. I don't really understand everything that's going on, but I know that any other allegations involving me are completely false. I've never done anything like this before and will never be doing anything like this again. I'm not sure why anyone would want to make things up in a situation like this. I don't want to invalidate what the affected person has said. I am just telling you what I know is true. There's also a lot of other people trying to take advantage of the situation, and anything coming from anyone else is also completely false. I know some of you may be confused by me denying everything at first, and that's because there was a huge amount of untruth being spread and I was very confused. I wish I could speak to George about this all, but I've just been left in the dust. I love him so much and really do care about him. I just don't think it's best for us to continue being together. I hope he can get the help he needs, and maybe in the future I will be able to figure everything out with him and that he can make his own statement. I would also have made a video explaining everything, but I physically cannot, so this is why I have written it. I will make sure to improve myself and not let myself feel the need to do anything that would make me feel uncomfortable just to make someone happy ever again. I'm extremely sorry to the victim and hope they are doing okay. I know none of this should have ever happened and that there's nothing I can do to fix it but work on bettering myself and piecing everything together. And I hope everyone can respect their privacy. I will be taking a break from social media to recuperate mentally and get some help. I'm extremely sorry to anyone affected by this whole situation, and I hope you know that I appreciate and love all of you. I'm not asking for forgiveness. I'm just trying to tell you all everything I know. And if anyone sending hate or harmful messages to my friends could stop, I would really appreciate it, and none of them are deserving of it. Again, I'm not looking for sympathy. Considering everything, I still made my own choice to be a part of it, and I'll admit it was a horrible mistake that I regret completely. When I return from my break, if I return, I will make sure it will be when I'm ready and able to talk about everything. I never want anyone to experience something like this, and I will be sure to show that I stand against it completely. I ask everyone to please as well learn from the situation and know that if you know something is wrong, stand against it completely and refuse to take part no matter what the pressure being put against you. This is certainly one of the more disturbing topics that I have had to cover, and I mean, I just can't even believe that they have Benji over here admitting to doing the FaceTime, and JeyJey has up and run away, and he is nowhere to be found, broke up with Benji and was like, peace out, you can go to jail by yourself, basically. I have no idea if there's actually going to be a case against them, if they're going to have any sort of punishment for what they've done. It kind of just seems like the person that put out the accusations just wanted other people to be aware of the situation and be more careful when talking to them and have their fans kind of know what they have been up to or what they're claiming that they have been up to. But this is crazy. I mean, the first time I ever heard about Benji was last year when he was getting into that drama calling Emma Chamberlain stinky, and now we're here where people are accusing him of grooming. This is, I mean, you can't predict this stuff, you guys. This is absolutely bonkers to me, but I hope you guys, kind of get the scope as what's going on. I will update you guys if I know anything further that happens, but this is pretty much it for the first episode of No Bleeps, and there were no bleeps, which is pretty freaking cool because let me tell you guys, when I have to censor stuff and like cringing on the inside because I'm like, gosh, I really hope they still understand what I'm saying, but to know that you guys know what I'm fully saying is really freaking awesome. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I hope you guys get a better understanding of the situation. I love you guys so much, and I will chat with you guys in the next No Bleeps episode. Bye, guys.